We start with breaking news right now. A private plane carrying former NASCAR driver Dale Earnhardt Jr., his wife Amy, and their young daughter went down in a fiery crash. We do know that everyone on board that plane survived. This happened around 4 o'clock this afternoon at the Elizabethton Airport. According to the Elizabethton Fire Chief, Barry Carrier, there were 5 people on board, including the Earnhardt family and 2 pilots. It does appear right now no one was seriously injured, but we know that the Earnhardts were taken to the hospital. Not sure right now of their condition. Let's take a look exactly where this happened. The Carter County Sheriff's Department confirms the plane went down in that crash at the Elizabethton Municipal Airport. This is a map of where it happened, located just off Highway 91. That's where the staging area is for emergency personnel. We've also learned that Dale Jr. has been taken to the hospital. And for more on this story, we're going to go out live to News 5's Kristen Kwan. She's been on this story since the beginning to find out the very latest. Kristen, what do you know?
Hey, Julie, that's right. Yeah, we're told that 5 people were on board, including Dale Jr. and his wife, Amy. Now, I'm going to step out of the way so you guys can kind of see the scene here. Lots of police officers and fire departments here still working to assess the scene.
We want to check what the weather conditions were at this time. We want to reiterate that we don't know the cause of this crash, and we're not insinuating that the weather had anything to do with it. But let's check with Chief Meteorologist Dave Dirks. Dave, what were the weather conditions at that time around 4 o'clock in Elizabethton?
Yeah, we were looking at partly cloudy skies. In fact, we'll show you an hour or so a loop of our Power 5 Doppler radar zoomed in tight here to the Elizabethton Airport, and we will go from about 4:05 to 5:05. You can see there was no shower thunderstorm activity. There's the greater Elizabethton area as a whole, but pulling back, really the closest showers to any of our region has been in the North Carolina mountains around Boone, a weakening shower there.
We just want to say right off the top, to not scare anyone, that we know that they're all safe. They have been taken to the hospital to be checked out, but we're told there are no serious injuries involved in this. Now, let's take a look at video from the scene and show you what this looked like when it all went down. You can see the fire coming from the plane and the heavy black smoke. And this here on the ground is Dale Earnhardt Jr. You can see paramedics and emergency crews working to stabilize him to be transported to the hospital to be checked out. But yes, again, he is okay in that crash, as were the other 4 people on board, including his daughter Isla, who just turned 1. We talked to the Carter County Sheriff's Office. We couldn't get an exact description of the plane, but they said it was a small to medium plane. But we do have an expert and a licensed pilot on staff here. News 5 meteorologist Ricky Matthews has more information about the type of aircraft this is. He's there at the track right now to cover the race. But Ricky, can you give us some perspective on the aircraft itself?
Julie, I want to talk a little bit about the aircraft that Dale Jr. was on this afternoon. It is a Cessna Citation Latitude, which is a business jet designed by the Cessna Aircraft Corporation. They make a lot of different aircrafts, from props to jets, and its primary purpose is to carry people just like Dale Jr. and other businessmen and women across the United States to complete whatever they need to do.
We did hear directly from Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s family, his sister tweeting out today. We're going to go now to News 5's Rebecca Pepin with the very latest from the social media aspect. Rebecca?
Hey, Julie, that's right. We've seen a lot on social media from fans wishing prayers and well wishes for the family. Obviously, a very scary time with the couple's more than year-old daughter on board. We got this tweet on social media from Kelly Earnhardt. I can confirm Dale, Amy, and Isla, along with his 2 pilots, were involved in a crash in Bristol, Tennessee this afternoon. She goes on to say everyone is safe and has been taken to the hospital for further evaluation.
We want to go back out now live to the scene of the crash. We have team coverage there with News 5's Kristen Kwan and Preston Ayers. Hey, you guys, what can you tell us at this point?
Yeah, Julie, we're on scene here. We want to kind of step out of the way first to show you guys the scene. Preston said, you know, the first thing that he noticed when you first got here.
And finding my way down the highway here and riding around the road closed, but as I pulled in, the first thing is just the smell of the fuel and the smoke burning from that plane. And then looking at that, it's incredible that they were able to basically walk away from that scene.
Right, exactly. And you can see the plane there on Highway 91. We're not told exactly yet if it was coming into land or where it was coming from. But again, yeah, you can see landed right there on Highway 91 where police and crews are working to investigate.
And I was hearing the fire chief talk just a few moments ago that this is basically going to be a hot scene burning or smoldering for several hours. And then the FAA and NTSB and the federal officials will have to get in and start their investigation.
We're continuing our team coverage today of the fiery plane crash of Dale Earnhardt Jr. and his family that went down in Elizabethton.
Yes, let's take a look at where this happened. It was a private plane carrying the former NASCAR driver, Dale Earnhardt Jr., his wife Amy, and their young daughter. 2 pilots were also on board. Elizabethton Fire Chief Barry Carrier says no one was seriously hurt, but the Earnhardts were taken to the hospital.
Now, we've also gotten in touch with the Carter County Sheriff's Department. They confirmed for us that it was around 4 o'clock this afternoon when that plane went down here. You can see the Elizabethton Municipal Airport. It's right off Highway 91, which is a very, very busy highway in that area. So you can see exactly where that went down. We've also found out that that road is going to remain closed tonight, throughout the entire evening, and possibly into tomorrow as well. They're telling us to please use Lynn Valley as an alternate route because this option will not be available to you right now.
Multiple crews are on scene investigating this crash right now, and joining us right now is Elizabethton Fire Chief Barry Carrier. Tell us a little bit about when you guys first received that call.
The first arriving unit was between 2 and 3 minutes out. When he arrived, it was our deputy chief. He saw heavy flames coming from the plane, and the passengers were already out standing in front of the plane.
So they were able to get out fairly quickly then?
It looks like they were able to get out fairly quickly and under their own power.
Dale Jr. was taken to the Johnson City Medical Center, and that's where we find News 5's John Engel to find out what is happening there.
And in the last few minutes, we've seen a number of ambulances pulling into the Johnson City Medical Center emergency room here in Johnson City, and ambulances going up and down state of Franklin for the last 10 to 15 minutes. Now, sources do tell me that Dale Earnhardt Jr. and his family were transported to Johnson City Medical Center for treatment. Thankfully, we've heard from the Carter County Sheriff's Office that everyone involved in that plane crash is okay. We're going to be staying outside the hospital here, waiting from any word from Dale Earnhardt's treatment and the staff here at Johnson City Medical Center. We'll keep you updated here from Johnson City. John Engel, News 5, WCY.
And we're going to turn it over to Ashley Klein now. She's live in the studio to talk to us a little bit about what we have heard from the FAA. Ashley.
Julie, Rebecca, yeah, as you both mentioned, there are many moving parts to this story, a lot of things still in play and a lot of unknown answers, but the FAA has released a statement. They said a Cessna Citation rolled off the end of runway 24 and caught fire after landing at Elizabethton Municipal Airport in Tennessee at 3:40 p.m. today.
We want to go back live out to the track. Obviously, there's reaction from that end as well, as they're all getting this news and processing the news at Bristol Motor Speedway.
All right, for that, we're going to turn it over to PJ Johnson and Heather Williams.
All right, thank you so much, Rebecca. We have finally gotten a statement from Bristol Motor Speedway, an actual statement, not something on a piece of paper, but Jerry Caldwell just appeared before the crowd that's here to watch the truck race and the K&N series tonight with a short statement. Heather, you were able to hear that.
Yeah, he's on stage right now for driver introductions for the K&N race, and he just told the crowd that they're glad that everybody's okay, and his thoughts and prayers are with the family, and then they put up the tweet from Kelly Earnhardt just talking about what his condition was. Of course, that's Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s sister. So I started to get my Earnhardt's confused. Sister. So that's the first time that we've heard from anyone official, either from BMS or from NASCAR.
We are going to talk to Jarvis Heron now. He's been out at the track getting reaction from fans.
Well, as fans are filing in for the Gander Outdoors Truck Series race later tonight, all the attention is away from the track in Elizabethton as fans are just now finding out the news about Dale Earnhardt Jr. and the plane crash. Fans I talked to, they're just shocked. They're in disbelief. Some of them are even at a loss for words.
That is crazy. That's just shocking. Like, seriously, like we just checked 45 minutes ago. We were looking at any new who got in trouble, who's fighting, who's doing whatever, and there was nothing, and now all of a sudden for you guys to say that. Literally, I thought you were messing, like to see what we'd say or something, but to have his wife and his little history from NASCAR drivers and stuff, so that's pretty scary.
That's a shame. I hate to hear that stuff.
Got a message. I mean, I hope
prayers for his family. He's a good guy.
Dale Jr.'s the best. His personality, the way he got along with his fans, the way he's doing now on TVs, gives good insight. Dale Jr.'s one of the best there ever was.
Earnhardt had one career win here in 2004, and with that win is when he first coined the term, "It's Bristol, baby." I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. Best, man. That's great. So that white Chevy that you just saw there, that was Dale Earnhardt Jr. You have a driver. We couldn't tell who else was with him. News 5 John Ingles been with him from the hospital on, following him over. So we know that he's here. This is the motor coach lawn here at BMS, where all the drivers stay. Nobody stays in hotels anymore. We're going to bring John over now for first-hand look. You've been following Dale since he arrived at the hospital. What's the latest on him?
Yeah, well, we got the tip from some sources that he was at Johnson City Medical Center. So that's once we got there, and then you kind of see the swarm of media try to get a look at him. We were staked out there for at least an hour or two trying to see when he might poke his head out, but that transport came up, whisked him out of there.
And you said it was so quick that you didn't even realize it was Earnhardt Jr.
I was just standing by my car across the street, and then he comes, you're driving across the intersection. You make eye contact with Dale Earnhardt Jr., you don't forget that. So, and then we've been following him since Johnson City, but glad to hear he's okay.
So obviously this has to be good news. They took him to the hospital, he and his family, for a checkup.
Yeah.
And you couldn't tell if the whole family was with him.
No, he had a Johnson City police escort for most of the ride up. They got off about Elizabethton, so I could only see him. He was riding in the passenger seat. I'm assuming his family was with him, but now he's back home at BMS. So we'll get into that story just for now.
We'll have much more on this tonight. News 5 on Fox, News 5 WCYB tonight at 11. John, great job. Thank you. Facebook Live, PJ Johnson, John Ingle. We'll see you tonight on TV.